What's up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of Merricks Garage. I hope everyone's having an awesome week. Today, I'm going to give you guys dimensions, part numbers, measurements, and a detailed assessment of my fuel pump access hatch that I cut into the floor of my Squarebody. If you've ever had to replace a sending unit or a fuel pump in the in-tank pump of a Squarebody, you know the struggle is real. You have to drop the tank, you've got to get everything out of the way, you got to undo everything with very little space to stick your arm. Next time you do it, throw this into your workflow and you guys can thank me later. We've had some rain here in Cali recently, and with the floor all finished, with everything sprayed, I'm not really too worried about rust anymore or corrosion. So I can't just let things get wet. It's a whole lot easier than trying to weather seal this thing, which is what I did forever. But anyway, that's not why we're here. We're here to talk about my hatch. This is the hatch that I use to give me access to my pump. When I get in here, I can now run all my lines, check everything's tight, pull this guy in and out really easily, and still have a fully functioning floor. Really cool resource, really cool project that I embarked upon, and I'm glad I banged this one out. I've been meaning to do this for a long time. So let's give you guys the measurements. I'm sure that's what you guys all came for, so let's do it. So, we'll do it like this. So from the roll pan to the back is 23 inches. See, that's fairly consistent all the way across. From the sides, let's go from this side first. Here you can see I'm 23.5 inches from driver side. And more or less 23.5 inches from passenger side. And let me give you the dimensions of this hatch panel itself. So there's a couple measurements you're gonna wanna be aware of. You're gonna have your inside, and then you're gonna have your outside. So the way this works is the cut is actually about 1 inch smaller than the hatch, so that you can have this trim piece that goes around and you don't have any jagged edges. So just keep that in mind when you're doing your cuts. The numbers I gave you are for the outside. When we get to the inside, my cut was a little bit smaller. This was all a crazy last minute rush to get things ready for hammers, and I've been lazy since then. I've got to get back after it because this needs to be put in a little bit more solid. I need a skid plate on it, and I need some additional reinforcement for how it's hung from the truck. Right now, it's fine. I just think I could overbuild it a little bit. Your working dimensions inside are going to be slightly different than the dimensions for the cut. So the dimensions inside, once again, 14 inches by 9.5 inches. This is a marine grade hatch. The only modification, well, hack job, you might as well call it, that I had to do was a little bit of clearancing with a flap disc up here to get this guy to close smoothly on these guys. But it's fully sealed. Not that that really matters, but it is sealed. It's a marine grade hatch. Marine grade, I've talked about it with electricity, I've talked about it with wiring, I've talked about it with batteries. Marine grade stuff is just awesome. It's built to a really high standards. I mean, heck, if it can survive out in the middle of the Indian Ocean, I think it's good for King of the Hammers. So this is the patch panel that I chose. It's on my Amazon store. I'll link to it down below. It's about 70 bucks. It allows you to flush mount this guy, access your fuel tank whenever you need to, and still have really robust back storage area. This thing isn't flimsy or anything. You can stand on it. And it's taken a beating. I've had my tires sitting on it for the last month, so there you go. I hope this was helpful. This has been a cool addition for me. Just one of those things that I'm slowly, continuously polishing this truck to make it the tool that I need it to be. And this is just another of the items in the long list of customizations and modifications I plan on making. If you liked what you saw, give me a like, give me a subscribe. Post a video a week. Not always on stuff like this. Often I do trips and full fabrication builds and things like that. So thank you for checking it out, and we'll see you next week. Merricks Garage. Or any other. Ooh. Hello. Oh my goodness.
Hi.
That's Merricks Garage's new assistant. Where was I?